Alright, so one of the questions we always have when we play this deck is, what does the Aristocrats mean? So the Aristocrats, in the context of Magic the Gathering, refers to having effects that give you bonuses, so sacrificing your own creatures. So in this current standard format, Priest of the Forgotten Gods basically is the cornerstone in these Aristocrat style decks. This deck notably also has Vraska Golgari Queen as an Aristocrat style effect and sacrificing her own things for fun and profit. We've played black-white, we've played Esper, we've played black-red a lot, so this is a green splash Aristocrat shell. Notably from green, in addition to Vraska, we get Poison Tip Archer here, which is an effect that, like, deals damage when our things die. Most notably, what Poison Tip Archer does different than a lot of the other effects similar to this in the format is that this effect of making a player lose life happens when your opponent's creatures die too, and this triggers on tokens, which is sweet. We have things such as Reaver and Saproling Migration, which are single cards that allow us to activate Priest. And we also have, like, some Tendershoot Dryads as a piece of top end that pumps out tokens, as well as Find. And then because we have so many things that generate tokens, Twilight Prophet is like an extra card to pay us off for having a big board. So let's dive into some matches here and see how this one goes. New job in a month. Can you add this to Naya 3 and Dinos? Will do, DH Red. Thanks for keeping me around. I appreciate the 5 months and the very generous tier 2 at that. One thing that I've been trying to plug today with some consistency is if you are a subscriber, make sure you check your email or your spam folder for my quarterly sub survey that went out late last night. If you do not see a link to it in your email, pop into the subscriber Discord in the announcements channel. There is a link to it there. Just every quarter, I just try and collect some data from the people who pay my bills, just making sure that, like, the formats that I'm playing are aligning well with what people want to see, etc., etc. It's like 6 multiple choice questions, then 1 optional fill in the blank if you'd like to give me some feedback in a more formalized manner outside of Twitch chat. Titan, thank you for the 2 months. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Thanks for keeping me around. A bot on that here. Slimefoot is just really slow and clunky, and the fact that Slimefoot only really works with other Saprolings kind of makes him narrow. How would Midnight Reaper work here? I can see Midnight Reaper being okay. We have some tokens, but we also have a variety of creatures like Reassembling Skeleton and Gutterbones that would generate value when you sacrifice them. Thanks, Helsing. Yay, Teferi only checks calendar 18 more months of being Time Reveler.
I'll protect
you. How's the day been so far? Okay, we had the first 2 Modern Leagues we played this morning were pretty good. We played Vanifear Chord and Marduk Pyromancer. The last 2 decks have been kind of middling, but they can't all be winners. You do not have to be in the Discord to get the email. However, a lot of people seem to have issues getting email from Twitch, either because of their Twitch settings or a variety of other things. I'm gonna elect to sacrifice the Amass token before I sacrifice all the Saprolings, because Tendershoot powers up Saprolings eventually, which is nice. They lose a token, but more importantly, we draw a card and get mana to play this Reassembling Skeleton, which is nice.
Let's try this. I can no longer stand by and watch. Hurry!
So this is unfortunately only permanent number 9. If I cast this and they veto me, I'm incredibly sad. But I think I need to try and kill their hero here. Worked out okay. Thanks, Captain Buckles.
Only a fool. I won't forgive this.
So this lets them kill Vraska on the backswing, but this attack prevents their Teferi from bouncing another thing here. Gosh, there's been a lot of Esper Hero lately. I guess it did just win the Grand Prix and then the Invitational. Like 3 of our 4 matches today. Restarting the client removes the audio bug. Until it decides to happen again.
Suppose that's how it was meant to happen. I will phase you out of the time stream.
For those who blinked and missed it, I conceded because my opponent ulted their Teferi ahead of curve on the back of an Elder Spell. I think this is probably too slow. I think I want to fit in some Duresses. Let's try this. Yeah, they ulted it and it lived ahead of curve. In the Read We Trust, thank you for the 11 months. I appreciate that. Hey, I'm glad you're enjoying the modern stuff too. Thanks for keeping me around. Yeah, I have to imagine with 4 Bellhaunts in the main, that Esper Hero is pretty reasonable against the mono red deck. Moving away from like main deck Thief was probably really good for them in that respect. Play a hero. Poor little priest. Opponent respects the priest. We pretty much only play best of 1 on this stream, Dallas. If you look at the top and bottom of the screen, the extra little pips here tell you that we're playing best of 3 as well. Because it'll signify who has what match wins.
Here we go.
I think I'm just doing this and hitting this for 3 here. Like I could trophy, but I think I'd rather save it for something bigger.
Hey, that was uncalled for. I've got it.
Yeah, I tried it off stream a bit, Matto, and I was pretty underwhelmed by it. I ended up preferring just playing more 1-mana creatures rather than playing this 2-drop that was kind of mediocre. Hey, Gwalgamar, thank you for that, for your support. I appreciate that. Welcome back. I have not played with the green-black land destruction deck. Seems kind of gimmicky. Seems like a deck that's just like hoping to cheese people out while being a mid-range deck that just can't beat these Dread Horde decks. I'd also be surprised if it's good against Esper Hero. You know, we should try the red-white land destruction deck again. I feel like it's been a while, and there's less Mortifies in the format. Last time we were really sad and stopped playing this deck because everyone was playing Mortify. Alright, that felt pretty unwinnable. I'm gonna take this back into an event as well. Feel like if Esper Hero feels rancid, you probably can't play on the ladder. I don't really want to cut it into today, Aaron, because I have to sit down and think about what updates would need to be made. If you wanted to be the top deck for the standard portion tomorrow, it looks like 50 points will get you there. Doing deck updates on stream always ends up rush. I'm gonna bottom that because I'd really like to find some, like, something to feed these things, like some more 1 and 2 drop creatures. Yeah, that's true too. Haphazard Bombardment being bounced is an upside in some situations. Gosh, our deck is busted. So good. So powerful. Maybe they misclicked and kept by mistake. Well, so, for example, Burgle, I think Priest is more than reasonable in the red-black Aristocrats deck, in large part, because that deck has so many other must-kill cards. So, like, for example, in the red-black deck, you usually need to take Judith off the table, and you usually need to take Mayhem Devil off the table, and Dreadhorde Butcher off the table. So, like, playing a bunch of cards that have basically, you must kill this, you're going to quickly lose for a minute, or you're going to quickly lose, is generally a recipe for success. Whereas a deck like this, the way this particular list is built, I agree it does have fewer you must kill these things. So when you have fewer must answer threats in your deck, they're more likely to be able to answer all of your must answer threats. Honestly, if someone's worried about rotation, I'd encourage them to just play limited until rotation happens. And then once rotation happens, I'd encourage them to play the new non-rotating format instead of standard. Rotation is basically always just around the corner. Like, when Ravnica, when Allegiance released, people were asking me like, what's rotation proof? And I was like, rotation is in 9 months. Like, at least like right now, rotation is what, like 4 months away, so like it's relatively close, I guess. Just around the river bend, do. I have a reach critter and a 2/4 flyer, so that's nice. This one's got death touch too. All right, I'm gonna lead on the 2/4 flyer because the death toucher is better, I think. So this is 5, 6, 7, 8. I'm just doing this. I don't know. Like, I feel like if you're someone who's worried about rotation happening soon and rotation is happening, you know, more than 3 months from now, Standard's probably just not the format for you, and that's okay, right? Like, not every format needs to appeal to every person, but like, Standard is the format for people who want change to happen frequently and want to keep up on their decks. And that's one of the reasons why something like Modern is so popular, right? Because it's very appealing to play a non-rotating format where you don't have to have that upkeep. Get that. Gonna get to trigger the Twilight Prophet here. That's exciting. This card's like the old reverse Bob, basically. I'm gonna diddle my 2/4. Yeah, and I think that's why I honestly think the new non-rotating format's likely to be a pretty big success, Garden Variety Troll, like I've talked about on here, just because, like, I think there's a lot of people who want Modern to kind of be something it's not right now, and they're kind of dissatisfied with what it offers at the moment, because they want it to be something more fair, and it's just not a fair format. I'm kind of sad that, like, the new format's likely going to get introduced when rotation happens, because when rotation happens is when Standard's most exciting. So, like, when there's a brand new format, I would love to just spend, like, a week or two just playing this new format with, like, a bunch of sets in it. But, like, I'm definitely not going to skip making some Standard content when Standard's at its hottest, too. I like Archer over Prophet, because if my opponent hits their 5th land, this can become a 5/5, and I'd like to be able to block it with my Death Touch. It's a good question. Yeah, as Modern gets bigger as a set, I bet they missed the reach on this. As Modern gets bigger as a set, the cards that are playable each time a set gets added get smaller and smaller. Only reasonable solution to stream 100 hours the first week. Listen, we've broken 60 on this stream before. So when the fall happens, we will probably have a bunch of 10-hour days in a row. Before we jump into the next match, I would like to say good morning, good afternoon, good night to everybody wherever you're at in the world. Thanks for dropping in here today. My name is Jeff Hoagland. I'm a full-time streamer and content producer here on Twitch. I'm here playing Magic 30, 40, sometimes even 50 or 60 hours a week like we've been discussing. As always, love to give a shout out to my wonderful subs. I wouldn't be here day in and out without their support, so thanks to all of them for keeping me employed. I also like to plug a couple of my sponsors here really quick. The Nerd Rage Gaming Championship Series, a $5,000 cash tournament series that happens every single month in the Midwestern United States. I'm actually going to be playing and their double standard weekend this week. That's why we've been playing the Naya Feather deck every day this week, so I'm planning to play that there. So Saturday and Sunday, be sure to tune into twitch.tv/NRG series and hopefully catch me doing okay in their tournament, as well as lots of other players. BCW Supplies are the only ones I trust to protect my paper Magic the Gathering cards when I go out to play. And using code Jeff10 at bcwsupplies.com, you can save 10% on sleeves, binders, deck box, and all sorts of other fantastic stuff there with them. Cardsphere.com will love to help you turn your cards and other cards directly with other players in their peer-to-peer trading network. They also have a fantastic draft simulator that is free to use on their website. And of course, I'd like to welcome everyone out there to Hoaglandia. I know there's a lot of great people that making a lot of great stuff on Twitch right now, and I appreciate all y'all spending part of your day here with us. Magic was looking at an alternative. General Magic was looking at alternative moderns. Well, modern's never going anywhere. There's a ton of people. There's a ton of people who watch, who love to play modern. So this new format is not only going to be on Arena, will likely be in paper as well. Double standard means that they're doing 2 tournaments. They're doing a tournament Saturday and Sunday, and they're both standard. Sorry if that's not clear from my language. Yeah, I agree, Testy. Some good synergy there between our 2 City's Blessing cards. At the end of the day, Magic is all about having a deck that you enjoy playing, regardless of what the format is. So, like, if you have a deck you love playing in Modern, I'm sure you're someone who loves Modern. If you're someone like myself, who has had every deck that you really like playing in the format slowly pushed out over the course of the last 5 years by things that are more powerful and more linear and less interactive, you kind of like, are a little off-put by it. Like, I've slowly watched Modern become my favorite format when Splinter Twin and Birthing Pod was legal to what it is today, where I'm just not really a huge fan of it. There's some neat things to be doing, but overall, it's not a format that I would really like to jam 12 hours a day like I used to. That's true. Or banned. Could get banned. That's annoying. Really hoping to draw a card that makes 2 creatures here, like a Saproling or another Reaver, so we can make them sacrifice this and then have this attack this. We got Core Set 2020 spoilers today. They spoiled 3 copies of Chandra. The Manaphyr deck is fine. I don't know about good, but it's definitely fine. 2 of the 3 Chandras look good. Yeah, it does kind of sound like a bad joke, doesn't it? They spoiled 3 copies of Chandra. No, really, there's 3 Chandras. Well, you gotta remember, MH1 is an out of cycle set, right? Like, MH1 is something like Conspiracy. And a lot of us are used to just never caring about a conspiracy set. Hey, Regazoo, thank you for the 6-month resub. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Actually, I think I want to leave the migrations in more than this, because these kick to make 4 later, right? Seems fine. Listen, if there's 15 Planeswalkers, that only means there's like 100 Planeswalkers in Standard. That's fine, right? It's perfectly normal. Alright, hit our land drop. God bless. Put them under a little duress here. I would like to take your cry, please. What do I mean by conspiracy set? Conspiracy is like basically casual sets that don't go through Standard. In the past, there's been one called Conspiracy. They've been called a couple other things as well. I honestly don't even know what all their names are, just because they usually don't apply to the formats I'm playing. The other walkers will be mythic only. That's good to know. That's exactly what I wanted for Christmas. It's exact third Twilight Prophet. Perfect. Just like we drew it up, chat. Unfortunately here, while this was good against the mono blue deck, against the deck that has a heavy amount of interaction, Twilight Prophet's going to kind of struggle here. Can't believe it's been 14 months. I'm between two decks if I decide to play Saturday. Can I shoot you my list on Discord to take a look? Yeah, definitely. Hey, Century, thanks for the 5 months. I appreciate it. Welcome back. Alright, Avaland. That's true. That's true. This is one of those many types of effects in Magic where, like, it's not technically drawing a card, so it still works. These being these instead of Lazotep makes the find better. Yes, Nars, I am aware. Charmander, Charmeleon, and Charizard. My opponent elected to mill me in my deck with Gutterbones and find Finality. That was nice of them. And they have Search for Azcanta. I appreciate you, opponent. We're pretty dead here. We are pretty dead. Alright. Dragon. Second verse, same as the first. Good. Basic mountains. I think it's probably not terrible against basic mountains. I guess we're super soft to Whirly Boy. But what deck with tokens isn't? Yeah, I agree that the range on something like Twilight Prophet's pretty wide. It's a high ceiling, low floor card. Hey, Blue Lemon, thanks for the 2 months. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Thanks for keeping me around. I like that our community can really come together and give the mods something to use their swords on. It makes the chat like an interactive game all on its own, really. A double block here. This lets them use the shock on my Reaver, but I think I'm fine with that. Or they can firebrand my 1/1 and then shock my face. Either way, I'm absorbing points of damage here, which seems profitable for me. I think they actually did a pretty good job of, like, printing Chandras that don't look like they're excellent in mono red, which I think is pretty awesome. I think I'm gonna pass here. Just go ahead and trophy this, especially since I have a second trophy. So, like, if I trophy here and they have a Chandra or a Frenzy, I still have an answer to that, which is nice. I get in a little bit of trouble if they have, like, double Chandra or double Frenzy or, like, one of each, but I think it's right to just preserve my health total here. If I play a 2-drop creature or a Saproling Migration here, I'm pretty unlikely to be able to use them next turn. Alright, there's a Frenzy. gonna do this and this, I think. Am I? No, I'm gonna hold the trophy up. If I hold the trophy up, the frenzy is less likely to go insane. Insane in the membrane. Do 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 do. Steamkin is a very, very good Magic the Gathering card. Very, very good Magic the Gathering card. Doing this now, just in case there's a sorcery speed card on top of their deck that they were hoping to play post-combat after they attack with the Steamkin. And if they're running low on gas, we might be en route to stabilization here. We get to trade Vraska for their Steamkin plus a point of damage, which is nice. And then, like, I have Migration and Twilight Prophet here. So, like, if I hit a land, I get to go land, Migration, Twilight Prophet. Or I could even kick the Migration. Yeah, maybe I just play Twilight Prophet next turn, even if I hit the land, and then I can kick Migration the following turn and enable the City's Blessing. The face is the place. Yeah, it feels bad to lose the Vraska to a Chain Whirler trigger, but it is nice to get that out of the hand before we play the Migration. I think it's right to play Prophet here. Because, like, the Prophet means... Scale of 1 to dead, where am I at here? Actually just dead. Alright. Didn't matter. Alright, I've got a plan for the mono red deck, chat. I'm not saying it's a good plan, but it does at least exist. The plan exists. You'll be sad when Wizard Lightning rotates. You can just play it for forever in our new Standard Plus format that's coming in the fall. That's why Standard and Standard Plus and non-rotating formats are great. The cards that you love, you can continue to play. Until the format becomes as unwieldy as Modern, at least. They've called it Standard Plus for a while. I'm holding out hope that they're gonna rebrand it as something else. The Standard Plus is a stupid name, in my opinion, and it feels like it implies that the format rotates, and it's supposed to be a non-rotating format. Turn 2, gobble gobble. Turn 3, 3, 4. Let's do it. Put a mulligan to 5. Our deck's so good, chat. Why is our deck so good? Could they just call it Arena? Maybe. I hope they give it. I hope they give it some unique name. Personally, I think it deserves a unique name. It's special and it deserves a unique name. Origins would be a good name. I like that one. Caesar! Thank you for the 3 months. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Hope your Tuesday is finding you well wherever you are. Mythic. They could call it Mythic. Yep, I could see that. I could see them just calling it Mythic. Jefferson Starship. I would be surprised if they had the bandwidth to backcode through Origins. That would come as a surprise to me. They did not announce what sets are in it yet, Marty. Like, Shadowmoor, maybe? Because they had, in early development, they had hinted that some of the Shadowmoor cards had already been programmed, so if they already have, like, part of it done, doing the rest might not be a big deal. This is where we rage cut a forest. maybe to add another dual land. I expect we'll see the new format supported in paper as well. I must say, I do like what they've been doing. I like the fact that they moved 2 of the paper MCs to being modern, to focus on the older formats for Paper Magic, and focus on the new for Arena. Legacy MC when? So, Legacy MCs make a platform that's already inaccessible to people in a lot of not US and EU countries even more accessible, because acquiring cards to play Legacy for a large-scale tournament like that is difficult and expensive, Mr. Photon, and they're never going to have a proxy tournament. Legacy is forever crippled by the reserve list. It's just the long and short of it. Oh, Seasons Past. I remember that one. That was a fun one. This hand really wants a 2 or a 3-drop to play on turn 3, but like, this on turn 2 with plenty of land to cast my spells is hard to pass up. Opponent kept a real mediocre hand. The Amnesia deck's still in the queue, Mike. It'll be played tomorrow. Most likely. My opponent was so scared of mulliganing to death again, they just, like, kept a mediocre hand.
Pity we couldn't have been allies. I guess today's your lucky
She's
day.
dead, Jim. You've killed her. Vraska plus Twilight Prophet is a little bit awkward. They're kind of at odds with each other. There's 3 Chandra Planeswalkers in M20. The 3 and 6 mana ones both seem like they're pretty reasonable. Dig through time's never coming back. Dig through time is lost to the history books. Six, 7, 8. This is 9. Thoughts on risk factor in your burn deck? In my experience playing in this current standard format, risk factor has felt like a worse piece of top end than something like 4 mana Chandra or Experimental Frenzy.
I lead the Golgari now. Don't dwell on what was about to happen.
Alright, so if either of these Twilight Prophets hits a spell, even without them hitting spells, the game's probably over, but every spell gains us life. Dang it, Twilight Prophet! You had one job! One job, Twilight Prophet!
The ends justify.
Twilight Prophet's just like, yo, dog, this game's gonna be real close. Howdy, Tom. I'm gonna hold this back as a blocker. This is likely to die. These were really good Dark Confidant triggers. They were not good Twilight Prophet triggers. Get that. Beat mono blue, beat mono red. Playing against decks like and this is definitely a personal thing, but in general, I really prefer playing against decks like mono blue and mono red than I do playing against things like Command the Dread Horde and like the Thief decks. Much rather play interactive games with people trying to get under me rather than play like these big swingy matches with people trying to go way over the top. Can you stack Chandra 6's emblems? Yeah, you can. Yeah, you can. What was the Aristocrats command? I thought we had a command. Did I spell it wrong? There you go. Opponent mulligan to 3. Get him, Gutterbones, get him! Urgh, urgh. The only way in the history of Magic to remove a Planeswalker emblem is to restart the game with Karn liberated. Joshua the Betrayed, thank you for the 13 months. I appreciate that. Welcome, welcome, welcome back. Thanks for keeping me around. Our 3-color Aristocrats, yeah, it depends. So, like, in my experience, the big issue with the 3-color Aristocrats decks is, like, mid-range Aristocrat decks in this format tend to be clunky and not keep up with the Command the Dread Horde decks, whereas the aggressive decks, and so that means you want to be aggressively slanted, but then, as you said, being aggressively slanted with 3-color means your mana's not super consistent. Especially because a lot of the 3-color Aristocrats decks want, like, lots of different colors early. It was an incredibly interesting and engaging game of Magic the Gathering here. Yeah, an okay way to play the 3-color is, like, if you have, like, one card that's just at the top end of your curve that you're splashing, but, like, trying to play, like, a black card on 1 and then red and white cards on 2 just really doesn't work. Just not consistent enough. Basic Mountain. How about Glitterbones? Glitterbones likes jazz hands. Glitterbones, Glitterbones, click, click, Glitterbones, Glitterbones, doo-doo-doo. I'm gonna attack with this, because they're gonna Chain Whirler me next turn anyways. Whirly boy up in the base, shooting chains in our face. Doo-doo-doo-doo-doo-doo. Yeah, emblem stack. Emblems do, in fact, stack. I think I'm just letting this happen because I want the trophy to clear out a powerful 4-mana thing. Yeah, maybe I should just kill this. If they play another creature, I'm going to want to kill that. It's also good against light at this stage to kill this. They play nothing this turn, though. I'm pretty happy to Vraska. Yeah, I think this was a mistake. I should have just killed this. Yeah, it's exactly correct, Drakios. Also, if you listen to what I said a second ago about being more mid-rangey versus being more aggressive, in general, for these decks to be successful, they need to take an aggressive slant in a lot of matchups, and Gutterbones being a 2-1 for 1 is just way more aggressive than a 1-1 for 2 could ever dream of being.
I grow bored with this fight.
So, it's another part of why Gutterbones is preferred to Reassembling Skeleton. There's the frenzy we just likely can't beat. This is, my opponent mulliganed to 3 and didn't do anything in the first game, so I only have one more trophy in my deck. I don't have my Brontodons. So let's, concede and run this out. Let's try this. Yeah, it's the second match in a row against red aggro. It's like not amazing, but it's like got all of our colors. It's got a 2-drop removal spell and a 4-drop, so I think it's like in the range of keepable. Oh, poor little Reaver. Poor little Reaver just trying to get by in this cold hard world. I'm gonna go ahead and kill this. Oh, this is a mistake. I should have waited for them to enter combat because they could play a haste creature with the land from this. You know what the best way is to interact with a 6-mana card, Chewy? Kill your opponent before they cast it. Which I know that's not the answer a lot of Magic players want to hear, because a lot of Magic players want to sit there and do nothing for forever. But killing your opponent before they cast the 6-mana card, or before, like, the 6-mana card's emblem kills you 15 turns later, is probably the right answer. Long-time viewer, 3-month subscriber. Thanks for the content. Thanks for keeping me around, Nian Bro. I appreciate the support. Hope you're having a fantastic Tuesday wherever you're at. They didn't play a 4-mana payoff last turn, so I'm going to go ahead and kill this and hope they don't have one this turn. Kind of running on E here. One of the issues with this specific build of this deck, compared to some of the other builds that we've played, is this deck doesn't have something like Bantu that really goes up over the top at the end. It doesn't have a way to really generate serious card advantage. And like Twilight Prophet does generate some card advantage, but it's so difficult to enable in a lot of these places, it's just not really worthwhile. Yep. So, the big issue with this specific build of Aristocrats compared to some of the other ones we've played recently, like Black-White and the Black-Red version, especially that I played in the MCQ and that I laddered with a bunch last season, is that the individual card quality in this deck overall is kind of low. And what I mean by that is, if you look at this deck, what are the cards in this deck that other constructed playable decks play? Gutterbones, Priest, Trophy, Vraska, maybe Find. So like these are like the cards that are like constructed playable. And if you look at here, these are all cards that are just kind of, well, they're not really good cards, but they kind of synergize with everything else we're doing. So we're trying to play like green-white tokens isn't really an established archetype that's powerful in the format. So the easiest way to evaluate like what is your card quality, average card quality, is think about how many of the cards that you're playing are cards that you're only playing for the sake of them integrating with your other cards, as opposed to them being individually powerful things that other people in the format are also playing. And in this particular case, we have a lot of cards in here that are just low power level by that metric. All right, we're going to wrap things up today, playing some more